What is the crack, everyone? B2B Sports. We are back. Sam is here,
As always.
as always. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say it, and I was just like really confused.
But yeah, lots of sport kicking off this week. Probably too much to discuss, but we'll try and get through as much as possible. Shall we start with the NFL draft, Sam?
Good,
Let's
good
do it.
stuff. I mean, I think what I thought was going to happen. People tried to trade for our pick. People tried it. The Vikings tried it. The Giants tried it. We were like, no, we're
Shut
taking.
us down.
We're getting our QB. Obviously, I think was it Caleb Williams went one.
Callie Williams, yeah, went one. Yep.
And
Jaden
he was two.
Jaden
Jaden
Dunn
Dunn was a two.
at the corner.
And then Drake May, number three.
Right, mate. Got your QB for the future, mate. Got it.
Exactly. Need to start building around him, which was slightly surprised we traded our pick in the second round. We did a weird trade with the Chargers, so we traded them. So we get basically two picks closer together a bit later in the rounds.
Mm.
But we got some wide receivers.
Yeah.
Got another QB late in the draft. Got some an offensive tackle. Like making some good moves. I think it was a decent draft for Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots selected wide receiver Jalen Polk in round two. I think it was the 37th pick.
Yeah, I think so.
Wide receivers is definitely what you need. Although you've got quite a decent amount of receivers, but are they the caliber that
Oh no, I think three of them are going to get cut,
yeah,
including like Juju
oh,
Smith-Schuster, who
he's
has
gone.
been awful for us. So yeah, I think a few of them will be cut. I don't think next year is going to be our year. It's going to take a bit more than just a couple of wide receivers, but it's a step in the right direction. I think it's the best draft I think I've seen for a while. Like I think we've got I think good building blocks. Good building
Yeah.
blocks.
I mean, fair play to the Patriots. They stuck with their guns. They went with their man, Drake May. I'm very jealous because he's looks like a decent QB. And you probably got offered a decent trade or two there, a decent pick here and there. But yeah, you stuck with your guns. So fair play, and we'll see how it pans out on the Viking side of things. We got our QB for the future as well, JJ McCarthy at 10. We traded up from 11 to 10. I think that was in panic mode because I think the Jets or the Giants were sniffing around.
The Giants were the number 10 pick, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
they
right.
also could have taken a QB.
That's,
So you just trade. I think that was a good trade. To be fair, might as well get the person you wanted.
yeah, I mean the whole way through this sort of draft sort of process, the two names that were floating about were Drake May and JJ McCarthy, and we've got him probably being the most realistic option as well.
Yeah,
And he's a national champion at college level, so we'll take that all day long. In
not
a
be a
little bit
bad
of,
thing. It's
yeah, not a bad thing at all.
getting a Michigan QB is also a good thing. Just putting that out there.
There you go. Although their offense was so run heavy that he didn't really have to do a lot.
Yeah,
But take it. He's got a
pick
ring.
still wins.
He's a winner.
So it's fine.
And then the Vikings, surprisingly, we picked up edge rusher Dallas Turner at 17 in the draft, traded up from 23 to 17, bolstering that defense. He looks like he's going to be a big, scary edge rusher. We've got rid of who did we get rid of? We got rid of Daniil Hunter to the Texans, so
Hmm.
it pretty much replaces him. So I'm excited to see how he does. We didn't have any second or third round picks because of the trade up. So he's a big gap, but we picked up some key pieces later on in the draft. We picked up a kicker actually as well in the sixth round, which a
I
lot of people
mean,
don't draft a kicker, but
not normally, but I mean the Vikings might as well.
might as
Your kickers have never been not had good luck with your kickers.
no, we've got kicker curse, that's for sure. That's absolutely.
Yeah,
I suppose in terms of draft, we have to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr. at 8 after signing Kirk Cousins to a 4-year deal. What
Yeah,
are they doing? What are they doing?
strange. Like, and apparently they didn't tell Kirk Cousins until they were on the clock. So they rang him when they were on the clock and were like, "Yeah, we're trading. We're going to get him." And it was like, "The fuck."
No, you didn't say what
You
the
just
fuck.
signed. You
Go.
just signed him to a 4-year deal,
He'd be,
multi-million dollars. Like,
he'd be saying, "What the frick? What the frick?"
yeah, exactly.
Heavily Christian accent.
But yeah, it's just strange. I think a lot of them are confused. I think obviously the video of the owner having a chat with the coach afterwards,
Right.
looking like he's trying to defend his pick. But I mean, they have a plan, but I don't know what that plan is. It seems odd to get somebody that high and plan for your future when you've already got a QB for the next 4 years that you've planned for. So yeah, I think everyone was a bit shocked, but they might be right. Maybe Kirk can't play as well as he can with this new Achilles, and so it's difficult.
It's just yeah, it's a weird one. I mean, why sign him? Why pay that money and sign him for a 4-year deal if they didn't have full faith in him? But they've got two great choices now. I guess if
Mm.
Kirk does have a stinker or his Achilles goes, they've got Penix Jr. waiting in the wings.
Yeah,
So it was a strange one. It was a strange one. Penix Jr. is also a older quarterback in the draft as well. So if he is going to sit
yeah,
4 years, he's going to be what, 28 when
yeah,
Kirk's deal ends. So that's a lot of key years wasted just sat on the sidelines.
yeah.
Very
It's
strange.
going to be strange. I mean, it'll be strange when they start playing and Kirk plays whether he's fully confident in everything. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see.
we'll see. In other news, Travis Kelce signs a 2-year extension at the Chiefs, making him the highest paid tight end in the game. You know, reasonable.
Uh,
Justifiable.
yeah, I think so. I think at the end of the day, I think he's probably. I don't know if he's. I don't know. I think last season wasn't his best season, but I don't think it was the. If somehow it wasn't the Chiefs' best season, and they won the fucking Super Bowl. So that's just the way it is. Um, yeah, I feel like I think that's a fine choice to sign him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ezekiel Elliott heads back to the Cowboys. How are you feeling about that one? Losing him?
Yeah. Fine. Like I don't think our game particularly fit him. I think in terms of rebuilding that, and we got Stevenson still, so we've got a good run game in general anyway. I find it weird that he's gone back to the Cowboys. Like, what was that year about? Something
Strange.
there. Yeah.
Again, very strange. The
So
NFL works in weird ways, I suppose, doesn't it?
oh yeah.
But now we've got a long old wait until the start of the season. That whole draft hype is sort of died down now. And now we've got to wait until September. I think preseason starts in August. I think there's
Yeah.
3 games each for each team. But
It's too long.
too long. Apparently, Roger Goodell is proposing that they have an 18-game season um,
Mm.
with 2 preseason games and then the Super Bowl falling on their bank holiday, which I think is like, I don't know what holiday there is, but
I think it's what's it called? Is it
President's Day.
something? Yeah.
President,
President's Day, something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's a fine plan. I don't
Take
have
it.
any problems with that.
More games. Not
Yeah,
complaining about that.
definitely not.
It'd be interesting though, because obviously injuries is a big thing in the NFL, and they obviously had to restrict some tackles. I think the hip drop tackle has been sort of suspended this year as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
feel I don't understand that.
you're a bit pissed about
I don't understand that they seem to be every single year they seem to be penalising the defense
that.
for playing a contact sport.
Yeah.
Like the whole reason the hip drop tackle was needed is because they banned other tackles, and now this tackle is banned. Like how are defenders meant to tackle
Is it turning
safely?
into flag football?
Yeah,
Tom
well, it's
Brady.
going to field goal football. It's just makes no sense. I think that's um, it's gonna make us scoring crazy. To be fair, and it's gonna make
Yeah.
players get banned quickly because of this banned play. It's just I think it's a recipe for disaster. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's really happy about it.
I think Tom Brady said it as well, didn't he? He said, the game's almost, just quoting his words here, but like he said, the game's gone soft because, when they're facing the Baltimore Ravens, You
Mm.
wouldn't throw it in the middle of the field like a hospital pass when Ray Lewis is lingering
Yeah,
around because you know that Ray Lewis is gonna crunch someone. But
yeah.
now those tackles are being taken out of the game, so I don't know. It's a weird one. Obviously, we don't want to see serious injuries, but also we want the game to still
It's
be
a contact sport. Like
it's
you're
contact
going to
sport.
get injuries. I mean, I think they've approved. In training and stuff, they could put like the protective covers on their helmets. You can
Yeah,
now
yeah.
wear them in game.
Oh yeah, the cone like the sort of the padded. Yeah, yeah. I know.
Yeah, so you can wear those in game now. But again, it's a very contact sport. You know what you're getting in for. It's like all these rugby players who are suing the RFU for their head injuries. It's like they have been steadily making it safer, but at the end of the day, that's the sport. You're playing a very
True.
hard sport, a lot of contact. It's you can't. I don't think you can have a go at the union for you making a decision to play that game.
It's
I
true.
understand that at some point, if that's all you can do. Like some of them didn't go to finish school and stuff like that or uni. So, but yeah, I think it's at some point contact's going to be taken out the whole game, and it's going to be
Mm.
they're not going to be the same games.
Yeah, where does the line lie almost?
Yeah.
When is the tipping point? Because it feels like
Hmm.
we're reaching that, I suppose, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Which is a shame in terms of the fan aspect, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a bit of football. Champions League semi-finals are kicking off at the moment. It's Dortmund PSG right now.
Yeah. Dortmund have just scored.
Wow. Okay, love that.
Paul Krug just scored. So yeah, I mean it's been a bit end to end and not too many chances, but cracking goal to be fair, all over the top and just played just onside and sends it near post against Donnarumma.
Love that. Obviously, Dortmund were probably considered the underdogs in this tie,
Oh
um,
yeah,
too. So yeah, and we've got to talk about Bayern Real Madrid last night as well. 2-2. Kane scored the penalty. Did you see the Jude Bellingham incident? Was he a little bit naughty
yeah.
going up to
I
Kane?
think that's fine. Apparently, he was saying like, "I know you're going to go left," and he went left. Apparently, Kane was like, I didn't really hear him. I wasn't really listening. So I don't think everyone seems to be like shitting on Jude. Like again, it's part of the game. Put people off. He's not doing anything wrong.
It's the classic English media, build the player up, then tear him down just before a major tournament. Let's not start that. It was
No,
nothing in it. Players have done it time and time again. Jude Bellingham is not the last to just try and have a word. So I don't see much in that at all, to be honest.
no. And he
So
didn't take anything from the game. Like nobody really, no players seem to have a problem with it at all. Um, so I think it's fine. It was a cracking game though.
yeah, I didn't see it, to be honest. I didn't see it. I know Vinicius Junior, did he score two in the end? Did he score a
He
brace?
scored two a penalty and he scored early on, but like Real Madrid scored with their first shot on target. Their
Oh,
only shot. They were behind, they were not the better team to begin with. But yeah, and then Sane scored an absolute peach of a goal. He absolutely hammered it into the near post, cutting inside like a proper Iron Robin kind of goal. But yeah, I think two all got very a good reflection on the game. But I think Bayern had one of their players, Kim, the defender, didn't have the best game. So if they can get better defensively, I think Bayern could walk away with a win there. But um, yeah, tough. I want Bayern. I think Bayern will win.
yeah, I was going to say I want Bayern to win. I respect at what Real Madrid do in this competition, and I love me some Carlo Ancelotti. But yeah, I just want Bayern. Also, if Bayern do win it, I like a little bit of redemption story for Tuchel. He's been sort of shat on this year a little bit with the whole Leverkusen winning the title, and if Poch were to be sacked at the end of the season or early part of next season, I'd quite happily have Thomas back in charge.
Oh, maybe he wants a new challenge up in Manchester. Gives you that
Absolutely not, mate.
slightly different challenge. We've got a
Yes.
nice pedigree of taking some of your old coaches, like Mourinho came, won us Europa League. We'll take Tuchel. That'll be fine with us. But I mean, if they do win the Champions League, do you think they'll sack him?
Well, are they going
That's
to
where
go?
they're already looking for his replacements.
They're going to go back on their decision because apparently I thought the decision was that he's going to leave at the end of the year. I thought he's
Oh, that's
gone.
true.
So
Yeah.
unless they do a dramatic U-turn just because he wins in the Champions League, you know,
Which is pretty big.
it's one of those again because are decisions being made too hastily in
Yeah.
this day and age in this society where we have to get things now, now, now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he had a bit of a stinker in the league. Yeah, Bayern Leverkusen dominated, but also at
It's
what
not like they come fifth.
exactly? But and also at what point do you go, Leverkusen? You're incredible.
Fair play, mate.
It's not so much us being shit. It's also about you being incredible. You being decent.
Yeah.
And Bayern have obviously, got through to the semi-finals in great position going into the second leg. So I think they made a too hasty decision really in letting him go if he does go.
Definitely.
Um,
Definitely. I think it's harsh. And I think he's been treated quite harshly by uh, his last couple of jobs. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't think Chelsea should never have sacked him. The
no,
strangest decision I've
not at all.
ever
Obviously,
seen.
things were bad at the time, but it wasn't worth a sackable offence to then go through the Potter, the Lampard, and Pochettino regimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, what was the point in that? If you're gonna,
No.
yeah,
They didn't
strange.
have a clear plan. Like Graham Potter, if anything, Brighton are doing better now they have Deserbi.
Absolutely, yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think it's so fickle anyway. So if you don't do well for a season, you're considered not a great manager. But
No,
there's so many other things like United doing the FA Cup final. We've not had a great season, but we're
still
getting
no.
to finals quite regularly. Like got to the FA Cup final last year. Yeah, we didn't win, but got won the Carling Cup. So
Mm,
you can't say they're terrible seasons and we're awful.
no, true.
Just not being consistent. But
Mm,
don't have to be that consistent when you're playing cups because they only come around once every month.
true, true that.
So I find it difficult to be too hard a critic of Ten Hag
So what
when
what is
also our players are awful.
what is your stance on United at the minute then? What do you see Ten Hag staying on to next?
I see him staying, to be honest, because I think with Jim Ratcliffe and this whole new Ineos coming in, like apparently 23 of 26 of our first teamers they're up for sale if people want them, and there is a rebuild kind of coming. So I think stick with the manager. It
Yeah.
seems weird to change a manager now who has an ethos who it's working in some games. Some of our games are great. Play such a good game that I bring the Coventry game up until the 70th minute. We were by far the better team, by
Yeah.
far. We just seem to have collapses at the end of matches, but clearly something he's coaching is good because it's helping us play. But
Mm.
I don't think we have the players. The players aren't all on board.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think our young players are. Garnacho's playing great. Hoyland plays great when he plays. Um, I just think there needs to be this kind of bigger ethos around the club that they all want to play better. I think they're all waiting for this kind of new season to start and see how it goes. But I think we should stick with Ten Hag, to be honest, at the moment. I don't think there's a coach out there who
Better than Ten
we
Hag.
fit better at the moment. No, Tuchel might be one, but again, he might not be. I think unless you get somebody that you know is a good manager, I think as a proven track record, it's difficult to change managers. I think Chelsea have proven that.
Mm,
And they've gone back to a manager they used to have. Like
true.
it's so difficult. Not
So
many can.
what if Zidane comes knocking about? Proven winner.
He's a proven winner, but yeah, but he's a proven winner with an insane Real Madrid team.
Yeah, true. True.
I think he was a good manager. I just don't know if you can call him a great manager, seeing
Mm.
as he did it for so short amount of time. I know he won like 3 Champions Leagues in a row, but still,
That's
um,
mad, isn't it? It's crazy.
ridiculous. And he's just dipped. It's like might as well.
Yeah,
So
strange one.
I
I
don't
do
I don't think Zidane's the way to go, but it'd be cool.
I do see that some real similarities between Chelsea and United. We're both both clubs are in transitional periods. Both clubs have
Yeah.
got managers that have got question marks over them. That should they be given more time or should they be given the sack? Both clubs have had quite a lot of injuries. I mean, your defense is,
Well, we've had like I think separate injuries. We've had over 60.
yeah, we've got a whole team out and
Yeah.
reserves at the minute. We've got a whole 12 players out. It's just the injuries. I'm not just saying this for Chelsea, but the injuries as a whole this year have seemed like relentless. Liverpool have had a ton, United have had a ton, Chelsea have had a ton,
Yeah.
loads of other clubs have had a ton of injuries. So I don't
I think
know.
most of the other teams who have had these injuries, like Liverpool, even United, at least the players who are having to come and play have played some. Most of them have played some first team football for United. Like even if it's in played lots in the reserves or stuff like that. Some of our youngsters have played quite a lot of high level football. I think with Chelsea, because you're transitioning, and a lot of your players are very new. I think when you then have to pick a team that never played together before, it's very, very tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. Talking about the opposite of new players, Thiago Silva is announced. He's going to leave Chelsea at the end of the year. Incredible player, classy, absolute technician, Rolls Royce of a defender, really. Would you class him as a club legend, even though he's been at the club 4 years? What's your stance on that?
I saw your tweet, and I didn't know how I felt about it. I, I don't know, because it's difficult to say. I think my only comparison would be Van Persie
Yep.
for United. Is he a club legend? I don't know.
It's a tough one.
He pretty much helped win us the Premier League that year, but would we have won it anyway? I mean, it wasn't like it was our worst team in the world.
How long was he at United for, though? Was it 2 or 3
Not
years?
long. Not long at all. Let me find out. Was it United for 3 years?
3 seasons, yeah.
48 goals in 86 games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, good return. Good return.
A pretty decent return.
It's difficult,
So
isn't
yeah,
it?
I don't know. I think Thiago Silva is a legend anyway, just in the game. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
wherever he is, he's going to be a legend. I don't know if he can be a Chelsea club legend specifically. But yeah, I think he's a legend just anyway.
Yeah. Just to reiterate the tweet, I think he's as close as he gets, really. He's won the Champions League. He's completely transformed the defense at times. He's made whoever plays alongside him a better player. And he just always in the right position at the right time.
Yeah.
He just switched on. He wants to stay in London. I hope that he doesn't go to Tottenham or Arsenal because I think that would be catastrophic. A Brentford or a Fulham, please.
Would he be a Premier League legend?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Would
not.
he be a Chelsea legend if he went to Arsenal? Or that's hilarious.
Absolutely not. But yeah, I don't know whether he's going to go Brazil as well. That's also an option. So yeah, we'll see. On a bit of a tangent, did you see that the Swedish clubs rejected VAR?
Oh no.
What's your thoughts and opinions on that one?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think at this point, VAR was a bit of a hindrance. I mean, that was a good thing about last night's Champions League game. They didn't use VAR once.
No.
There were 2 penalties. They didn't use VAR once, which I think is mad. I think there needs to be a proper uphaul of how it's used, and it needs to be more streamlined because you can't be taking 5 minutes to work out if somebody's offside.
It kills. Sorry, mate. It just kills. It just kills all life of living, breathing, the goals that go in and decisions that are made. It just kills it all, doesn't it? Half the time the decisions are wrong or subjective anyway. So what is it?
Yeah.
What is it bringing? What is it adding?
Not adding anything. Nobody knows what clear and obvious is because nothing seems clear and obvious with how it's used. I mean, the goal of Coventry scored against United in the semi-final. That's mad that was offside. It's so close. This is toe. And I would understandably be very annoyed at that. I think it's brought this new thing of being like, because I was obviously devastated when we conceded that, but you get like a second chance. So in that sense, it's quite,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a good feeling. But again, when you're on the other end of it, it's not. There's always something in the back of your mind like that might not count. Um, so yeah, it's if it's used correctly and like that's always offside and all these things are stonewalls and it's only ever changed if it's definitely different. It just needs to get more like that.
Yeah.
If it's all this subjective stuff, like you said, and one decision to the next is very different. You just can't have that because
No.
you come under so much abuse for it. Like referees probably don't deserve all the abuse they get for this. Like this is an added thing that referees get abused for.
It's
Like
almost
they're
made the
already
job
pretty
harder,
much
isn't it? Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, so it's not helping them, and it's making the whole game look a bit farcical sometimes.
It's you touched on it as well. It's like in tennis or cricket, the use of technology is spot on. It's either
Mm.
it's either out or in. It's either LBW or no LBW. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's right or wrong. Whereas in football, there's so many different scenarios. Nothing is consistent at all.
yeah,
Like the Chelsea against City. The free kick or the shot that Cole Palmer had where it
mm.
hit Jack Grealish's hand. Like I've seen those given. I've
Yeah.
seen those given. It was away from his body. I've seen those given. But why was it? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, come on.
Well, I mean, and then it was given the next day when
Exactly.
Wan-Bissaka hit his hand, and you're like, one from one day to the next, surely that it can't be that different. That these two things, yeah, it was ridiculous, and there needs to be a line. I
Yeah.
think I think the VAR should be there, just like TMO is for rugby.
Mhm.
They make the decisions on the big things, so stuff the referee can't see or anything that's clear and obvious that the referee couldn't have seen, or they just let the referee decide. Like I think penalties where it's like ambiguous. I think if he clearly hasn't touched it or
Mhm.
clearly hasn't touched the person and they look to have dived, then maybe show the referee again a different angle, the same referee. So don't
Yeah.
let somebody else decide, let him decide. And whether he thinks it's still a pen. If he does, then just I think you've got to kind of take that one on the chin. But like the Arsenal game, Spurs were, I mean, he tripped him up in the box, Ben White. And yeah, he took a minute to go down, but he was nowhere near the ball and he did just trip him up. And that wasn't given a pen.
Yeah.
Makes like there needs to be a yeah, needs to be something done.
Yeah, it needs to be looked at from top to bottom. And I think the rules need looking at as well. It's not just VAR as well. The rules, like a handball rule, needs to be looked at as well and stuff like that from top to bottom. What is and what isn't.
Yeah,
That's what needs to be done. And we're just seeing too many decisions week in, week out that are just pissing everyone off, really, quite
pretty much.
frankly, which is annoying. Another contentious topic at the minute as well is FA Cup replays. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
They've been scrapped for next year. Go
I
only,
think it's
if a team's drawing, sorry, go to penalty.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, they only consulted the Premier League teams.
Yep, yep.
Didn't consult anyone else. And also during the course of a year, like some of these teams are playing more times than Premier League teams.
That's right.
So and with much less resources. So I don't really understand why the Premier League like, oh yeah, we need to lighten our schedule because that one FA Cup replay that we have to play every 5 years really hounds us for the rest of the like that makes no sense.
No, it
And
doesn't.
like I understand next season with the changes to the Champions League, like, there will be more games. But at the end of the day, like you're getting paid 200 grand a week. You're in these high end facilities. You should be able to play a game on the odd Wednesday and
Yeah.
then play again on Saturday.
To
That's
me,
ridiculous.
to me as well, it's like teams with these bloated squads probably think they could coast playing against Colchester or I don't know, Northampton
Hmm.
Town or whatever. You know, you should be playing the game to win. If
Yeah,
it goes to a replay, that's probably because you've not put the effort in. You've not taken it
yeah,
seriously enough. You should be
yeah,
beating these clubs. And
exactly. And quite often they play a second, like their second team.
exactly, I just think
So
I just think it's a real stab in the back for these lower league sides that love a giant killing, that love getting the money going to a big club, playing at Old Trafford, for instance, that they'll
yeah,
never ever get a chance to play at professionally in their career potentially. So yeah, it doesn't sit right with me as well. Like you said, they didn't consultate the EFL clubs. I don't know. It looks like this is going to rumble on for a little bit longer. Whether
yeah.
that
I think they're
decision is,
looking at. Obviously, there's been a lot of uproar, so I think they're kind of. I think they'll reverse it at the end of the day. But,
and the FA Cup is a historical cup as well.
mm,
It's not like a newer, Carabao Cup, whatever. It's a little bit, iffy, give or take. But the FA Cup is the English Cup. It's the cup
yeah,
that everyone sort of historically looks at, and to just sort of make such a big change, I don't know, doesn't sit right with me. It's
no,
a little bit
no, me
strange.
neither.
Leicester City have been crowned the champions of the Championship and heading back to the Premier League. Jamie Vardy's career continues to be goated, to be honest. To
Yeah,
better than Kane's in a minute, I suppose.
it's insane. Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
But yeah, top bloke. Yeah, I think he was ripping. I saw a video on Twitter ripping his teammate for doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
why you
done, we've done
dance?
fuck all this season.
Get up and dance. You've done fuck all this year, which is pretty funny. The championship he's gone to the last day in terms of the relegation fight. I'm hoping that Birmingham survive. Uh,
Birmingham going down.
it's not looking good for them, to be honest. They need to beat Norwich in the last game of the season and hope for Plymouth and maybe a couple of other sides to draw. If all the other sides
You
win,
basically have to win, or
yeah,
they have to win, or they're out
yeah, they have to win for sure.
because
So
they're in the relegation zone.
tough times, man. Tough times, Birmingham. They pumped in all this money at this club, and yeah, for them to go down would be catastrophic, I think.
Yeah,
Um, in terms of Bundesliga, Bayern Leverkusen score in the final minute again.
again.
Again, 46 games unbeaten. It's quite funny. I actually text Sam saying their streak is going to end, and then Sam's like, "Wait, hold on."
I was like, just give it to the end of the game, and yeah, the 97th minute, and they did it again. Like, it's just you can't script it.
No,
I think it's like their 16th goal in the last minute this season.
it's
Not so
incredible.
much just winners, but just their 60, and I think it's their 10th like winner in the or to sort of salvage their to save their unbeaten streak. Like it's been 10 times they've done it in the last minute,
It's
and it's
nuts.
just
And
insane.
I don't, to be fair, I don't know the squad very well. I don't think anyone does because a lot of these players come out of nowhere this past year.
Mm,
But like, it seems to me like everyone's contributing. Everyone's just popping up with the odd
yeah,
goal here and there. Like
yeah.
players that you've never heard of just popping up and saving
Honestly,
the day.
like I watched the game where they were crowned champions of the Bundesliga. They won like 5-0 or 5-1, and the player scored a hat trick. It was his first career hat trick. Like just randomly in this game, it's
Crazy.
insane. Like Granit Xhaka is playing the best football of his life,
Obviously.
um, and yeah, they're all just unreal. And I think it's a quite insane story that they've got the longest unbeaten run out of anyone in Europe ever. And Xabi Alonso's first full season as a manager, he's done absolute bits.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they do next year because I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
year after something like that, I mean, you're never going to get to those heights again.
No, it's exactly like Leicester. When Leicester won the league,
Yeah,
they did do all right in the next year, but nothing in comparison to they couldn't reach those heights. So it'd be really
no,
interesting. Obviously you've got the staple German teams, Dortmund and Bayern. Are they going to stamp their authority back on the league again?
yeah,
We'll see on that one. And I suppose in the last football story, Liverpool have reached an agreement with the Feyenoord coach. Is it Arnie or Arne Slot to
no,
become their manager for next year? It looks pretty much like a mixture between Pep and Ten Hag, just a
yeah.
guy in the middle. But I've never don't really know much about him, and
No, I know nothing about him.
it's a big call to make to follow in Klopp's shoes, to be honest.
Yeah, that one Premier League and one Champions League in 7 years is it's a tough fact to follow.
You call him a fraud, Sam? Is that what you do? You call him a fraud?
Absolute fraud, mate. Um, no, you can't diminish his achievements. I think it's just difficult when you to be lauded as the great manager he is in a time where Pep's won it all
Mm.
is an achievement. Like, yes, Liverpool only won one Premier League. They probably should have won a couple at least. Champions League, they could have won another Champions League. So they've always been there. I
Mm.
think he's a massive part of that.
Yeah.
And I'm still surprised he's leaving, but I'd be. I think I think I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying watching him get kicked out of every single tournament there is left and kind of collapsing at the end of the season. I'm not gonna lie,
What is
it's quite
going on with
bittersweet for
Salah
me.
as well? Like, what is going on with that? I don't understand it. Why is
I don't
Salah
know.
getting kicked out? Why is Salah having
I
stick?
don't know.
I get it.
He's been playing. He's not been playing great, but he's also been, like I said, left out. The
Mm.
game against West Ham was a bit of an insane game. Um, yeah, just not going well whatsoever. And they think it's probably out of the running for the Premier League unless Arsenal and City really screw up.
Not gonna happen.
Um, no, and yeah, it's going to be annoying because we're going to play Arsenal in I think 2 weeks, and that could be a title decider.
Yeah, it could. Well, we've already faced the wrath of Arsenal, and it's not pretty, mate. Uh,
Well,
so
it takes a different class of team to really step up in those circumstances. It's at Old Trafford as well. So got some things for us. We can beat
we'll see,
Liverpool at Old Trafford. We can beat Arsenal.
we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
As long as we don't lose 5-0, I'm pretty happy with that. To be honest, that Chelsea game was god awful.
If you take your only player out of your squad that has done well this year, okay, I don't know who the equivalent player would
Well,
be.
Bruno,
Yeah, probably Bruno, I suppose. Take him out and then see how you do. Because Cole Palmer was out and we had no chance. Absolutely no chance.
yeah, the fact that I think Cole Palmer having being ill was unlucky.
Very unlucky.
But I think the thing is, like, if you take Fernandez out, at least you do have players. Mount can play at least in that role, and
Mm.
we probably wouldn't have won as many games. But you take Cole Palmer out, and there's nobody at his level
Yeah, absolutely agree, mate.
or the level below. Like, there
He's
was
been
absolutely no
dragging
one there.
him and Gusto, give Gusto a little bit of props too, but they've been
Hmm.
dragging Chelsea this year, dragging them.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
and,
I think, that midfield gets cut open way too many times.
hmm,
Caicedo's been half decent to be fair in the past couple of games, but him and Enzo have been together have been a shambles for the
yeah,
majority of the season. And the defense, don't get me started on defense. Bad Shield and Cucurella, they're just woeful, mate. Absolutely woeful. So
yeah,
I don't know, it's a mess, absolute mess. And hopefully when we
yeah.
get players like Wesley Fofana back next year, it'll be a different story. But
Yeah, get some of these players back, his striker back as well.
yeah.
I think it's just I don't think I've seen a team so one man central, and like United have been one man central for
Yeah.
a lot of seasons. But I don't think anyone's seen him rely as much on one player as Chelsea have had to this year. I mean, it shows. He's now second, but was joint top goal scorer for in the whole league in barely 10th.
Mate, without him, we'd be floating around the bottom. Without a
Yeah,
shadow
actually,
of a
I want
doubt.
to see where you would be without him. To be fair,
I think
obviously a lot of his pens.
when I did a video about it the other day, I think it was last week, he contributed 20 points to Chelsea, and
20.
we're on 47 points at that point. So I think we've only got 48. So if you take 20 off that, where would you be? You'd be about 6th,
Yeah.
17th. So
So have a look. Where would you be without Cole Palmer? think somewhere said like 16th,
Yeah,
which is insane. Come on, show me.
I'm sure with
So, that's disgusting. Chelsea would find themselves stuck in 18th in the league standings and facing relegation. That is insane.
that proves how big he's been for this squad. Like it's incredible. It's scary. It actually is scary.
Yeah. I mean, I understand he scored a lot of penalties. So if you take Cole Palmer out, it's not like you wouldn't have those goals because
No,
somebody else may have scored the
yeah,
penalties.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, to be fair, you don't know if they would have scored. They'd still be arguing over them now. So
yeah.
whether they would score those penalties is up for debate. But yeah, it is mad. And then you got Spurs tomorrow, who also aren't playing great. But I mean, if you come out of these two games against Arsenal and Spurs, losing both,
I'm sorry if we get battered by Spurs. I don't know if I can watch another game this year. To be honest, they'll get battered.
PSG just hit the post twice in the last 10 seconds.
PSG still 1-0.
Both shots, it was still 1-0. Both shots hit the post, went across the face of goal. That's just gutting.
Than that. But yeah, let's hope that Chelsea don't get beat tomorrow. We'll see how that goes.
I need Cole Palmer to do stuff because he's my triple captain this week.
Yeah,
I need to catch you up.
I made a
Because I'm like 50 something points away with 4 games left.
I've minus 80 it as well.
Oh, so have I. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah,
I have also -8 for next week. So thank God for that.
Put some City players in. I know they've got a double game week coming up as well. So I'll put De Bruyne in. Come on, De Bruyne, lad.
Tough. The double game weeks, like players just don't play. So
Tough, man. It's tough.
I don't think I can. I don't remember what I've done. To be fair, I think I've taken. Maybe I took Phil Foden out. Who did I take out for next week? No, I still got 2 City players in, but I bought in another United player because I think we've got a double game week at some point.
Yeah, I think there are a few clubs that have got a double game week. I think it's 37, which I think is in a week or two's time. So
yeah, so I bought in another Arsenal defender. I bought in Ben White in because might as well.
mm.
Because I took Salah out, so I've still got money left over.
Yeah, yeah.
From that, but I put Bruno Fernandes in with Garnacho. Bought Jared Bowen in as well. He was actually only on the bench this weekend at the moment, so we'll see. But yeah, I need to catch you up because every week I'm like beating by like 2 or 3 points, not many, and so slowly. So that's why I need Cole Palmer to do bits tomorrow because so I can close it to at least if I can close it to like 30. I can make.
Yeah, anything can happen. If you get it to 30, anything can happen. And if it's within 20, 30 in the last game week, there's still anyone's game. If it's 40, 50 in the last game week, then it's a bit of a stretch, you know what I mean? So
yeah. So fingers crossed, and fingers crossed he gets a hat trick and an assist.
You know, you never know.
It's true.
So
and like he didn't. He should have scored against Villa.
Done.
That was frustrating.
That game was frustrating in general. Just tell it to us, to be honest. To us. That's Chelsea this season. I suppose better move. F1 massive news today. Adrian Newey has left, or he's going to part ways with Red Bull. Just huge news in the F1 world. I think because he's such a technical genius, you know, wherever he goes, if he is going to go to another team, it'll be a massive advantage in terms of development of their car.
Yeah.
How much of a pivotal point do you see Adrian Newey being in a potential new team?
I think it'll be a massive boost to whoever gets him. He's just able to do things that no other team can do. I think in terms of what he's done at Red Bull, I think they'll still benefit from all he's ever done. Like, even if he's not designing their car for the year after, like they'll still have remnants of what he's done to their car. So I don't think they'll be slow by any means.
No.
But whoever he goes to is getting a massive boost, especially when like these new regs have come out. He's the only one that seems to have really nailed it.
Yeah, yeah.
So if he can do that wherever, whether it's Aston Martin, who is it a possibility, whether it is Ferrari,
Just imagine, mate. That's the
I'd
infinity
love that.
stones. Putting,
Well, he's always wanted to work with Hamilton. I think him and Hamilton would. I think him and Hamilton would be unreal because I think
oh yeah,
Hamilton, like, he loves setting up cars, and if he had Adrian Newey, like, their ideas would be crazy.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I'd love to see him at Ferrari. To be honest,
Mm.
I'd love that. I'd rather than Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Whilst Lawrence Stroll is still owning that side, he can't go there. He can't go there. Um, but yeah, in other news, Hulkenberg is going to leave Haas at the end of the year and go to Sauber. I mean, fair play, but
I think the fact that he's still got a seat is a bit mad.
he's mad. Yeah, who's gonna leave though? Joe or Bottas? You'd probably think Joe in terms of that.
Yeah,
It's a tough one to call. And then F1 is looking at the option of awarding points down to 12th next season, which I don't know why this is not a thing anyway. Why, in my opinion, points should be all the way down to 20th, not just 10th.
I think they should only reach 10th.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. What is everyone just getting points? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
No, it just makes him more competitive in terms of the midfield. Get him involved a little bit more. You know what I mean?
They are involved. They want to get to 10th. Get some points.
Nah.
Like, I don't see why it's bad. I don't see. To be fair, at the end of the day, I don't think it'll make any difference. But it'll make the middle pack of kind of like you're saying, getting higher up in the constructors championship and stuff like that a bit more tasty. But yeah, I think it's not really done in any other motorsports, so I don't see why we need to do it in F1.
Valid point.
If you're not good enough to get 10th, why? What's the point?
Savage Sam is out and about today, mate.
I think it's fun the way it is.
It's the Miami Grand Prix this week. Race starts at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. for a race. We've had some early ones and now we've got a late one. Although it is bank holiday, so happy days. And then Ferrari have been teasing a new livery for Miami this week, and they've been teasing
Blue.
the baby blue color, like the Miami Dolphins kind of style. And I was like, oh my god, they can have a blue car. No, not quite. They've just put a little bit of blue on the hubcap almost, and a couple of stripes. I was thinking all blue. A little bit disappointed by that one.
Yeah, to be fair, I quite like the what's it called? The suits they're wearing.
Yeah, they've got all blue suits. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
well, that was quite cool.
Yeah, that is quite cool. Just hoping for a little bit more on the car, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Cricket. The England T20 squad has been announced. Jofra Archer is in there. Have you seen the squad? What are your thoughts? And
I've not seen the whole squad. Who's in it?
Joss Butler, Moeen Ali, Jofra Archer, Johnny Bairstow, Harry Brook, Sam Curran, Ben Duckett, Tom Hartley, Will Jacks, Chris Jordan, Liam Livingston, Adil Rashid, Phil Salt, Reece Topley, Mark Wood. There is no excuse we should win that.
That's a great squad.
That batting line,
I mean,
naughty as
no,
well.
no, Bairstow.
Yeah, Bairstow's there. Bairstow's there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bairstow's there. I didn't miss that one. Because I was like, he just scored an insane century in the IPL.
He scored like off like 48 balls, weren't it? Like 100.
Yeah, something ridiculous. I think that's a great team. I mean, Tom Hartley been in there, great. Love that.
Right, that.
But yeah, that's a pretty decent team. I think that's the best selection I've seen for a while. I mean, Jofra Archer's the only, I think, strange one at the end of the day because he's just not played. So
Not played, yeah. They've taken their time nursing him back. So I'm hoping that we will see the Jofra Archer of old and, hopefully back to some sort of full fitness almost. So
yeah, and I think he's there to be our all and out pace. As you say, Mark Wood's in it.
Mark was there, which is probably
Yeah,
back.
so which would be I mean, to be fair, having a pace attack of Mark Wood and Jofra Archer, that's exactly what you want in a T20.
Reece Topley as
Like,
well.
yeah, if
Decent,
Reece
decent
Topley, yeah,
bowler.
oh, he's been doing bits. So our pace attack is really good. No Chris Wokes.
No Chris Wokes. No Chris Wokes.
I see. I think that's a shame. I like Chris Wokes. I think he's underrated, even in short formats.
Chris Jordan
Um,
is always on the name on the team sheet in terms of white ball
Great
cricket.
death bowler.
Ben Duckett as well. Again, a bit of a surprise. He's showing his form in the county championship. I think he scored 197 the other day off 230 balls. So to have a test 4-day batsman who's also very handy in terms of one day is also interesting. You've
Yeah,
got Liam Livingston there that can just slog and smash it about. It's exciting. I'm really got high hopes for this England side.
yeah. Did you say Stokes as well?
Stokes is not in the side. Stokes is not in the side. Joss Butler is the captain, and yeah,
Yeah. Why is Stokes not in?
don't know, don't know. Stokes is not in the side. Not in the
Because I
side.
feel like that's the only one I can. Unless there's a like he's decided not to play kind of
T20 cricket.
T20 cricket, but I think that's the only one I could see being a bit strange. Why would you not? I mean, obviously he's had a lot of injuries and stuff like that, and he's trying to calm it down. But yeah, I think that team is strong anyway. So I
Yeah,
think
super
when does
strong.
it start?
I'm not sure. I might have to Google it. I'm not sure, but I know it's in the United States in West Indies, so
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I wonder what the crowd is going to be like in the United States. I can't imagine cricket being big over there.
it's not huge, is it? I think the West Indies that would be great because and they've got some great pitches in the West Indies. Um, but yeah, very strange.
The
Um,
matches will
I
be
think
played.
cricket is getting bigger there, but I just don't think it's huge.
The matches will be played in the USA and at 6 venues across the West Indies, with the final set for the 29th of June. But when does it start? Is the question. When does the It's got to be soon. 1st of June, running until the 29th. Um,
Exactly a month.
exactly a month away. So
Perfect.
be interesting.
Perfect stuff.
Looking forward to that. UFC boxing news. Fury Usyk is still on. Still
So far.
so far. Got 2 weeks on Saturday, so it's May the 18th. Will we finally see a unified heavyweight champion again? Don't believe it until you see them both in the ring. That's it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson has been sanctioned as a pro fight. I just think this
I
is
know.
absolutely crazy, man. I'm
Insane. I mean,
not feeling this. Not feeling this.
not feeling it. Why are you not feeling it?
I think Mike Tyson's going to get battered. I think he's going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to say because Mike Tyson is an animal, an absolute animal. But the bloke's nearly 60. He can barely walk without a limp. Do you know what I mean? Like he's facing a guy that's in his prime, and you know, if Jake Paul
Yeah.
has any sort of brain about him, keep the distance. Just I don't know. I don't think this is a good look. It's a pro
It's
fight.
not. It's not a good look for either. Like, it's not a good look. It's a
No,
win-win for Mike Tyson because if he loses, yeah, he's 60. Like, it's not. He's not meant to win.
no, no.
But it's a lose-lose for Jake Paul because if he happens to get taken all the way by a 6-year-old, that's not good for him. If he gets knocked out, it's not good for him. If he wins, he's beating a pensioner.
I would love nothing more than Mike Tyson to knock him out. I think that would be incredible. Like
That would be my favorite thing ever. And
that
Mike
would
Tyson said, doesn't he? Like he wants to retire him.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like, there's any love lost between the two, but
No.
like, I can't see it. I would love for that to happen and put all this Jake Paul nonsense to bed, but I
Yeah.
just can't see it. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm going to be proved wrong, but age is just on Jake Paul's side. I just think,
I know, but the power behind those fists is insane. So I'm
I
I'm still sticking with Mike Tyson all the way.
I just want Mike Tyson to just go full see red, just bite his ear
Yeah,
off, just not
yeah, I was
just,
about to say, yeah,
just go mental. Do you know what I
might as well. He's got nothing to lose.
mean? So yeah, that would be interesting. I think that's in July, 20th of July. And then also in terms of UFC news, UFC is holding 304 in Manchester, but it's gonna be held in
Ridiculous.
American time. So you can have the main card start at 3 a.m. in Manchester with the main fight at 5 a.m. Like imagine you've got tickets, you're buzzing, and then you find out you got to
You've
stay
fallen
up,
asleep.
you got to do an all-nighter.
Yeah, I think that's odd. I
Strange, huh?
understand like when it's just weird. Yeah, I don't feel like that's right. I guess I understand most of their fan base is over there, but when boxing goes to the other places, like it's on their time. So why is the UFC deciding differently? Like I think it's going to be alienating the UK
Yeah,
scene when it's in the UK. Like that makes no sense.
yeah.
That's the whole point of going to these countries, is to make it accessible.
Strange. You
That's why
really,
when it was last, like, is it like 8 o'clock? And you're like, yeah, I can watch that. It's just,
yeah. I mean, I understand that the UFC is an American organization, but like you said, when you travel to other countries, you adjust to their time zones.
yeah,
It's like F1, we all adjust to the F1 schedule. And there has been instances in the UFC world where they've gone to Singapore, Dubai or
hmm,
Australia, and the time zones have been adjusted there. So it just seems very strange to me. And it just seems, I know the fighters will be sound because the fighters have to do this anyway. They have to adjust to different time zones and body clocks and stuff.
yeah,
But it's the fans, whether you're in the stadium or watching at home, I was buzzing for this because I'll be like, yes, I can watch a pay-per-view event
mm,
live, on one-off occasion. But now I'm gonna have to watch the highlights the next day because I'm not gonna stay up till 6 a.m. I just
no,
don't, you don't have the time to do that.
no.
So yeah, weird one, very weird one. Um, and to end it, NBA playoffs. Have you been keeping an eye on anything going
A
on?
little bit, a little bit. Celtics are doing well. The Lakers are out. They
Thanks, all right.
lost to the Nuggets, who are quite highly likely to win the league this year. But the Celtics, who are the standout team from the regular season, I think they had an insane record compared to everyone else. I think they're either 3-1 up or something like that, 3 or 2-1 up against the Heat. Um, yeah, but it's just like business as usual. Not too much going on particularly. Although the coach for one of the teams tore his patella tendon. Like he was one of the players that ran into him, and he was trying to save. Like I don't know if he was trying to save another player or he was trying to save somebody in the seats, but then in doing so, ruptured his own knee.
Oh mate,
Um,
that is bad.
so yeah, that's not an easy one to recover from.
No, definitely not.
Not gonna lie, it
Maybe
takes quite a while.
he'll have his brace on or whatever. I don't know if he probably won't even be there at the next game, will he?
Possibly not. He'll need surgery. Um, he'll then yes, he'll have to wear a brace that sticks his knee fully in extension. Can't bend his knee, and then
That
slowly he'll start having to bend his knee.
that is so uncomfortable to think about.
Yeah,
Madness. I'm rooting for the Minnesota Timberwolves, gotta do, because of the Vikings, but they swept the Phoenix Suns for the
he
first
did.
ever playoff series win since 2004. So,
Okay.
that's quite a big going. They're in contention, but they have got the Nuggets in the next round. So,
Yeah, with MVP
yes,
Jokic,
yes. I
former
like
MVP.
Anthony Edwards is decent. He's been popping up all over the socials recently, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what. Okay, I think it'll be a close. I think it'll be a close series. So we'll see. We'll see on that one.
Mm.
But yeah. Any other sports news that you want to bring up before we wrap up?
Nadal's doing his farewell tour at the moment.
Yeah.
Played in Madrid this week. Unfortunately, went out, but getting an absolute massive ovation from everyone. So it's to be sad to see him because I think he'll play in French Open. And I think that might be his last tournament ever. I don't see him playing any others apart from Grand Slams. So yeah, getting towards the end of his illustrious career.
Sad times, mate. Sad times. It's gonna be weird, man. When
Very weird.
when he goes, it's really just Djokovic left, isn't it? Really. So
Yeah.
of the old guard, anyway. So
Murray's still there.
yeah, but is he
Still there. Still playing. Still doing stuff.
clinging on, clinging on?
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the podcast. We'll probably catch you again in a couple of weeks' time, probably to wrap up the football season. We'll do some
Yeah.
end of season awards and best moments and sort of flops of the year and players of the year and that kind of thing, that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll catch you again next time. But yeah, in a bit. Peace out.
In a bit.